Hi there, welcome to another Team Clueless Battle Report. Today I am over at Jason's house. Say hello, Jason.
Hey guys.
As you can see, Jason has a proper gaming living room.
There's more behind you.
Oh yeah, there's more back here. We are doing a continuation of our campaign for the world of Somthinia.
Somthinia, yeah.
Basically, because we decided to call it something. So this is Battle 4 in the campaign. You can see links to all the videos, which I'm going to attempt to put in. Link to video 1 will appear up here somewhere. Link to video 2 will stick over here, where that giant finger appeared. And link to video 3 will somehow appear at the bottom down here, hopefully. So we are, as I say, over at Jason's house. We're kind of like doing these videos as a combination between our two YouTube channels. So Jason, what is your YouTube channel that you've got half the videos up on?
For my miniature games, I've got Battle Knights.
Yep.
And for my board games and card games, I've got Gaming Nights.
Excellent. So you can easily search for those, and I'll put links at the very end of the video to go to Jason's channel and such. So if you've been following the campaign, you'll know that it's about a force of chaos invading a planet. The first mission was all about the Imperial citizens and the higher-ups in the Imperial military escaping from a city that had been surrounded by Chaos Incursion, and they just had to try and get off the board. It's kind of in the campaign, each mission doesn't really have winners and losers, but there are bonuses you can accrue which will affect future missions. So then the second mission was about attacking a supply depot and finding supplies to use in future games. And the last game you played was a big two-table game, which was about a giant tank battle over a secured facility. So one of the games was the top of the table, which had the big tank battle in, and then underneath we had a Zone Mortalis board.
That was my favourite one. So
yeah, that was the best one so far. Really good video. Highly recommend going to have a look at that. So this one, after they took care of the facility, we found out that this area of the planet has 3 chaos artifacts buried on it. These artifacts are going to play an important role in the final game of the campaign. It's a 5-campaign game, so they are buried somewhere on this table. So as you can see, we have lots of white poker chips ruining the lovely scenery John has set up. As you can see, the table looks awesome, really green and rural. Loads of it. We wanted lots of scenery on the table. We're all taking loads of infantry units, other than John with his Poxy Great Land Raider.
There's land terrain squashing some of this beautiful terrain.
So you can see all of these white tokens are scattered across the board. We put them all down, face down, and we haven't looked at them as yet. And on 9 of them, there is a red X on the back. They are of no use to us. 3 of them have objective written on the back, and that means at the end of the game, the players that control any of the ones that say objective on get a special relic for use in the next game. So the idea is to go out, find what is under them. You can look at them if you control them at the end of any player turn. Your unit can then look to see what it is. It basically digs it up and sees if there's anything there, but you don't show the opponent. So it's kind of a bit of a secret thing. You can look at something and then you can bluff the opponent by not staying there into then thinking that there's not an objective there, and then rush back to it at the end of the game if you fancy. So that's the main objectives of the game. We also have a big gribbly chaos beast in the middle of the table. If you've watched any of our other videos, you'll see there's one type we do quite often called Monster Hunter. There's basically a flowchart of how this big gribbly monster moves. It rampages around the table and kills all our units. If one of the 2 sides manages to kill it, they get a bonus for the next game. Any other things I need to go through? Oh yes, because this is a chaos-pervaded wasteland, with loads of trees and stuff in it, we roll on a little table at the start of each game to see what random chaos effect happens. Because in this campaign we're trying to put loads of special effects and stuff in, because I like them. So we'll go through armies now. This is 1,000 points each, and there's 2 players aside. So it's myself and Ash are bringing chaos. I'll go through my army in a minute. I'm over there, and Ash is over there. And then John and Jason are the people defending the Imperial planet. John has brought along some Space Marines, and Jason is bringing along the trusty Impy Guard. Sorry, Astra Militarum, Jason. Get the name right. As usual. Let's see what forces we're bringing. I am bringing 1,000 points of Chaos Space Marines with Demon allies. So down here we have a Chaos Sorcerer on bike. He's not marked at all. He has got the Demon Heart Armour from the Crimson Slaughter supplement. He has 3 bikers with him. They have 2 melter guns in there. We have 2 units of cultists. One has guns, one does not have guns, or has pistols. Then we have 1 obliterator marked Nurgle and 5 Nurgle marked Spawn. For the demon contingent, we have a Herald of Khorne on Juggernaut with a couple of gifts. He's running around with 10 Fleshhounds, and then in the troop section we have 3 Nurglings because Jason loves them.
Okay, so in my army I have got the Chaos Lord on his 4th appearance.
That is the Super Chaos Lord, isn't it?
Yep. +1 attack, +1 wound, +1 toughness.
We do have experience system, so if your model survives, you get to give it bonuses for the next game.
He's also reverted back from being a Chaos Warden.
Hey, he was taking a break. Okay. 2 units of 7 Plague Marines, both with melter guns, and the champions got power fists. And this guy here managed to actually get a +1 wound on the boon table for once, so that's quite nice. 2 obliterators, Marks of Nurgle. 2 rhinos, Marks of Nurgle, not that we can actually have him, and 5 bikers with 2 plasma guns, and the champion has got a power sword. So that is all I've got in my force, small and petite.
Okay, so this is my 1,000 points of Imperial Guard.
That's a lot of Imperial Guard.
Yeah, I've gone for a boots on the ground strategy. Just fill up the table with as many dudes as I can. So I've got a company command squad with a regimental standard, Vox, and this is a missile launcher as I haven't built the other one yet. I've got a platoon command with 3 plasma gunners. They've also got the tank hunter special rule from a previous game. Then I've got 1, 2, 3 10-man infantry squads all loaded out the same with grenade launcher and missile launcher. I've got a 10-man veteran squad with 3 melter guns, and they've got the forward sentries rule. And then I've got 10 Kazakin guys. And I've got, these are my Ogren squad. They're just basic Ogrens, but I like the models, so I use them as Ogrens. And then last but not least is 3 armored sentinels with autocannons. So 1,000 points to dominate the planet. Let's see what John's got.
1,000 points of ultras. Yay! Right, where to begin? I've got 1 tactical squad here, missile launcher.
2 cows, are they Ultramarines?
Well, they're kind of
Legion.
they're the supply line, and being we're in Chaos Wasteland, I have a feeling they're going to merge together and become a familiar 2-headed cow. Right, where were we? Tactical squad, veteran sergeant, missile launcher, flamer. They're in a drop pod. Second tactical squad, veteran sergeant, missile launcher, flamer. The sergeant also has a homing beacon because he's got buddies, and they're rocking it in a retro Land Raider. Rhino, that's a Land Raider. 5 assault terminators, nothing special, and everyone is being led by this fella here. He is a level 1 librarian, force weapon, storm shield, and a couple of sanctic demonology things, and they're, well, the boys are in there. That's a Land Raider. Anyway, let's play a game, shall we?
So this is just a quick shot of our setup. I have now moved to the other side of the table. Ash and I have this side of the table. We have deployed, as you can see, a big long line. So the idea is to try and get to as many of these objectives, control them, and identify them early on, so you can then plan your later turns. So Ash has got a big mob of his Chaos Space Marines down here with the bikes and stuff. And I've got most of my 2 fast units in the middle here. And then they have basically deployed all adjacent stuff strung along the table edge. And the Space Marines Land Raider is there, the Rhino is over there, and they've obviously got a drop pod to come in. They're not stealing initiative because they told us we could go first because they want second turn. Wish the forces of Chaos luck. Good luck, Ash.
Good luck, dude.
You join us at the end of Chaos Turn 1, and it wasn't the best one. Please ignore this drop pod because we forgot to do the video
It's not there yet.
at the end.
Those sentinels and those guards.
So,
and those...
what happened, Ash? So first of all, we rolled on the what weird chaos effect happens on the table, and it gave all this this effect lasts for both our player turns. So we got everything gets +1 to its cover save, but everything counts as moving through difficult terrain. So that's not much of a biggie. We thought. I moved my 3 bikes. One of them died. Then Ash moved his 5 bikes.
Yeah, I was
3 of them died.
I wasn't moving my bike.
It was awful. The rest of our stuff all moved up. We have looked at some objectives. We have seen what is down here. Not the one in the middle, but that one there. This one here, and a couple over here. So we now have that knowledge. I managed to, in the psychic phase, summon a unit of 3 flamers, which they're pretty scared of. And I have scouted up, or infiltrated in with my Nurglings up to there. Oh, that means we can look at that objective as well. Do that in a sec. The monster moved this way, but only an inch, and then attempted to assault Ash's Rhino, but failed to do so. We're all kind of like playing a bit of chicken in the middle of the board, not wanting to approach the monster and anger it. Because if you hurt the monster, it then moves towards your side. And once you've moved it into your half of the board, well, then you're a bit screwed. So that was our turn 1. Not much happened other than that. No shooting casualties, were there?
No.
We couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Let's see how they respond.
Okay, so this was Imperium turn 1, and it wasn't too bad. John's drop pod came down. We decided to go down at the back behind the Chaos Forces. There's also an objective over there. Can you point to it?
This one down here, and we've both seen it now, haven't we?
So we might as well
And
tell
we all-
the...
We all know that.
It's
It
an
is one of
objective.
the-
So it's one of the important ones.
So that's one of the 3 that we know of that needs to be captured. So the Marines came down there, and in their turn they did some damage, which we'll get back to in a second. Movement-wise, the Sentinels moved forward a bit. The Rhino moved into that corner. The Land Raiders stumbled forward a bit. The Ogrins moved a little bit around the corner. And then we did a little bit of firing. In my psychic stuff. But in my turn, I cast
a little bit of
We
fire.
did quite a bit. It's quite effective.
I did the order on them to ignore cover, and an order on them to first rank, second rank. The old cover fire went.
They
across
were
to there.
ridiculously
Yeah.
effective, aren't they? Just wiped that rhino off the face of the board.
3 penetrating hits, done and dusted. And you see the little chaotic thing going on there. We'll go back to that in a second as well. First rank, second rank fire over here. Fired onto that bike.
No,
I think-
no.
That bike.
That bike, yeah. That
That
bike.
one there.
So he got taken out.
Those bikes wish
these-
they didn't get up this morning.
these
They're just
guys-
like, what are we doing here?
And the Sentinels also fired on them, but he passed his morale check, and he's still one man alone bike over there. Down this side, the Ogrins moved as far forward as they could, took out a flamer with their ripper guns, and then in the assault phase failed to charge them. So that was
Those
a
flames
really
are gonna be
yeah.
good.
These guys plus the Marines took out 3 Chaos Hounds, I think.
4 Chaos Hounds are down.
Yep.
No, yeah, 4 Chaos
Four.
Hounds gone. Not good.
And the Land Raider took a wound off that obliterator over there. So that's pretty much
The Land
the
Raider shot over here as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty much the sum total of our shooting. Then the randomness of that baby over there charged across the
Nightmare Beast, I think I called it in the write-up.
straight into the
I would have sent it that way.
Chaos Marines, who I took out of the Rhino, and he killed one. They did nothing in return, so they were stuck in
I did
combat with
nothing
him.
good.
Combat,
but
until basically
somebody
it
kept
kills
saving
them, I
him.
suspect.
You
It's
got
pretty
anything to
tough.
add, John?
No, not really. We're moving into position, and I feel comfortable at this moment in time.
I think
Yeah.
this is
Although
why
I
we're
am
lulling,
not looking forward to that left flank hitting us.
we're
yeah.
lulling them into a false sense of security. That's what we're doing right now.
I think that not killing the Ogrin, not killing the 2 flamers is going to prove quite important because they're
That's
going to
gonna be
wreak
really
havoc
painful.
amongst the guard.
Sigh. Alright, let's go to turn 2 for the Chaos.
Okay, Chaos turn 2, and not a bad one. So, what happened? If we start over here and then work across the board. So, over here, the Spawn ran forward towards the Ogrins. In the Psychic phase, my Psychic cast Iron Arm and Force on himself. He's got a Force Sword. Walked in there, hit 4 times, wiped out 4 Ogrins. It was pretty immense. He was amazing that turn. And the Chaos Spawn managed to wipe out the final Ogrin. My 2 flamers that I summoned leapt over there, flamed the Imperial Guard, ran into them. They kind of like slapped at each other. I killed one, he did a wound to me. The chaos effect we got from the table this turn was everything has feel no pain and it will not die. And the 1 wound that was dealt to me, I got to it will not die back. Down here, these guys, there were 3 of them. The Nurglings tried to charge into those Imperial Guard. One of them hit with a melter gun in Overwatch, taking out a base of me, and then I failed my charge because of it.
Even on a 3+ cover.
Yeah, even on the 3-up cover. So down here, we just shuffled across to take control here. Our obliterators did very little. Jason, it will not die back the wound. He took on a sentinel. Ash decided, maybe against his better judgment with convincing from me, that he should get out with his Chaos Lord and smash the crap out of this giant beastie here. He managed to get in there, and he's dealt 4 wounds to it, which is quite impressive given the survivability of the beast. Round here, the bike nearly killed himself with his own plasma gun. And the empty rhino, they're just hanging back for now.
That bike has got a serious death wound.
Yeah. While these cultists move forward to just form a screen. Back here, the hounds and the Herald of Khorne charged into the Space Marines. Did a good number on them, taking out half of the Space Marines and taking only 1 wound in return. They lost a hound to Overwatch, but the Herald is so beastly in combat, I'm reasonably confident of winning that. So overall, a pretty good turn. Let's see how the Imperial
Okay.
Alex, can you?
We're just going to wait for the television to be paused.
Are you actually filming?
Yeah, why not? Thank you, Alex. Okay, so Imperial turn 2, not a bad one at all. but it was looking pretty scary at the end of
Well, it's
Chaos
good on one
Incursion.
side, not so good on the other.
Well, yeah. Let's start on the not so good side, the left flank. Sorry, their left flank, or right flank. The guard managed to hold
And kill the flamers.
and kill the flamers, thanks to instability. And they're now holding the line there. What else happened? These veterans, they
murdered the
they moved up, murdered the Nurglings, and then ran back. So that was good from the orders. These stormtroopers started there. They moved to there. Then, because there wasn't anyone else eligible for an order, they then ran to there. So they're zigzagging
Very productive
across.
turn by them.
Like making a little dust field.
It's true. Sentinels moved up. These guys are crack shots. Although they didn't actually do anything, but they
They
did
hit loads.
Yeah,
Didn't,
hit loads.
Didn't get
Five
through the
wounds
armour.
on the
4
obliterators.
wounds on the Blitz, but
My favourite
nothing
thing
done.
was the Land Raider.
The Land Raider did. Land Raider was in this position here, but that unfortunately meant that it couldn't get arc with its las cannons.
All these were in the way, so instead he just ran through them.
Yeah, so driver got a bit angry.
They won't be in the way next turn.
It just went straight forward. The guard on this flank is doing really well, plus the tax squad.
Yeah, we're in trouble over there. We got nothing, and you've got
Yeah.
like 4 units of loads of models.
Yeah,
I was
moved up,
hoping to free
tax
up
squad come
my
out.
Yeah.
Plague Marines. Unfortunately, I should never listen to your tactical
Indeed.
advice.
We're
should
gonna
I?
win, Nash. Don't you worry.
So we've kind of
We're gonna win what?
secured that left flank. The second tax squad kind of, well, they died.
Murdered by the.
Wilted.
Murdered, and now it's the
Corn
lonely
Herald.
librarian. He came down.
He did
also.
cast force though.
He
This
did
turn,
cast
so he's actually
force.
quite dangerous to the
He
hounds.
did peril as well on his other
Yeah, he has
spell,
lost
but,
a wound. No, he didn't.
No, he
'cause he's
didn't,
on a pain
'cause
hit
he's
of the,
well-armed.
He got his warlord trait.
but that's it, I guess. I think that's
Yeah.
that's
Other than Ash's combat in the middle here,
Oh,
which
yes.
continued on.
Ash pasted it last turn. It is on...
You feel no pain, loads of it.
I did
Only
feel
took
no
one extra
pain
wound
quite
this
a bit.
turn.
It looked like
He's
he was
only
going to
got
die.
He took
there.
2 wounds, but it regened one.
But
due
that's
to the
good
it will
enough.
not die.
That's
Because
one
it's their
additional
turn next, so
Yeah.
it's keeping them pegged
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So that's it. Let's move on to Chaos turn 3.
Chaos turn 3. So this turn, the weird Chaos effect table granted us low gravity, which increases the range of all guns, but also increases the movement of all models,
Which was very
Um,
beneficial to you guys.
which was good for this turn. So the Chaos Spawn that were over here did a massive sweeping 14-inch movement to here, and then charged into the Guardsmen, beating. I rolled really badly for my attacks, but still managed to beat them up, and the Guardsmen are running, but they'll likely rally. The Sorcerer summoned in 3 new Flamers, but unfortunately succumbed to the perils of the warp doing so, dying. But the 3 Flamers were pinpoint accurate, and they flamed the command squad. The commander's taken a wound, and he killed everybody else in that squad. The 2 bikers I had moved forward and melter-gunned the Land Raider with the extra range granted by the low gravity because it somehow affects microwaves. These 3 obliterators at the back also managed to multi-melter the Land Raider, got 3 wounds onto it, or 3 hull points down, and immobilised it. So I charged in with my 2 bikers, planted a melter bomb on the back, blowing it up, unfortunately killing a biker, and this guy failed his leadership check and is now running off the board. Over here, this squad oh yeah, and pinned them. That was the most important thing. Terminators are pinned this turn. Over here, my 4 hounds and the herald charged into the librarian. Hit him loads of time, but his storm shield and his feel no pain stood up to the challenge, and he only took 1 wound from all of their attacks. But he's in a challenge with the Chaos Herald, who's really hard to hit, and he's only got 2 attack space, so he failed to hit the Herald. It's quite good because he had force up at the time, so he would have just one-outed me. These guys moved this way to try and stick some las shots on the librarian. Over here, Ash, what happened?
Well, after John managed to roll ridiculously well for
7
wounding,
attacks.
7 attacks,
4
killed
wounds.
4 Plague Marines, so that's 1 unit entirely wiped out.
Yep.
And then I managed to slowly but steadily power fist him to death.
Nice. So we have killed the big Gribbly, which grants us a power to give to one of our units next game, which makes them really good in combat. So we choose our best combat unit, and it's going to be much better. So that's good. A favour of Khorne for killing the big beast. The rest of the stuff, though, wasn't particularly useful.
I did manage to shoot a...
Oh yeah, you managed to
yeah.
Rhino to death 1 Space Marine. But I feel it's still, we are heavily outnumbered on this side of the board. Taking out that big beast has taken a lot of your forces.
Yes.
And over here, I've lost that. I'm tied up at the back. I really feel we're short on units.
We're always short on
Yeah,
units.
if those Terminators there had been able to move, we'd have been in deep trouble, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, on to your guys' turn 3.
Okay, so this is our turn 3, I think. What happened? Movement-wise, we've pulled in to try and contain the centre here. Those guardsmen ran off their objective to this way. Those guys rallied, and then I cast the Get Back in the Order with them. The stormtroopers moved this way. Sentinels moved around to help out. The guardsmen swung in this way, and those guardsmen moved up towards their objective, while the Marines moved around the corner. And what else? So that was it for movement. In the psychic phase, that librarian, which was in combat over there, cast the teleport spell thing to get away. John tried to bring him all the way down to this side, instead mishapped and landed over there instead.
Yeah.
Right in front of where he didn't need to be. So that was the psychic phase. Movement in the command phase, I did first rank on them, get back in the fight on them, and run on them. In the shooting phase, I was a little less happy with that. We took out the last remaining Chaos Biker on that squad. John took out the Rhino over there. And we put 2 wounds on this spawn.
You spread out loads of wounds.
A couple
there.
more wounds on all these spawned, and there was one more over there that actually died. The Flamers lost 2 guys to shooting, and then in combat, we put a wound on that Flamer, and they killed 1 in return. And I think that's it for shooting.
Yep. It was a good turn for you, I think.
So-
You did a lot of damage.
That's the state of the game 3. We've pushed on heavily on the left
We
flank.
get to look at that one as well.
You do.
But the right flank is almost deserted of our forces.
It feels like basically we've pinwheeled across the centre.
Yeah.
Very much so. Except
This-
we've lost so much more stuff
Yeah.
than them. Jason's got loads of units left.
So there we go. Let's go to Chaos turn 4.
Yeah. Okay, so it's Chaos turn 4. One more turn to the end of the game, because we've agreed we'll finish at turn 5. So this was a bit make or break. We've got to get back in it. So the cultists moved over towards this objective, because both sides now know that that is an actual objective, so we need to hold that.
No, it's not.
The hounds here charged forwards where the Terminator Librarian was and ran him over with their Hammer of Wrath from the Juggernaut. In the centre here, we fired all our obliterators, plasma cannons into the Terminators. Did quite a lot of wounds, but John just rocked them off with his Storm Shield, so that's pretty useful for John. Down here, Ash, explain what happened with your Chaos Marines.
Well, my Chaos Marines were epically great and used the Burning Brand of Scalthrax.
Oh, that's
to-
amazing
I
versus
know,
Marines.
it's
That is
perfect.
incredible
It's the best
versus them.
weapon, apart from Burning
Yeah,
Flame on a... I managed to kill 1.
Nice,
Would
well
you
done.
guys like to be alone?
Yes.
So they still got
I
all
wanna
this stuff
sit in the
over
corner
here.
and cry.
What they called Spawn, they charged in on veterans, on the Cascan veterans. Oh yeah, they're stormtroopers, aren't they? Yeah. Managed to whoop them in combat, but unfortunately failed to run them down, so they might rally next turn. But then we used our Consolidate. The extra movement power from the Chaos is in effect again this turn, so we're surrounding him, so he can't move. The Flamer and the Guard slapped at each other doing nothing. So we don't have a whole lot of units left. It's going to be a bit touch or go. Let's see what happens.
Headbutted the librarian.
Yeah, he did. Juggernaut was good. Let's see how they go.
Okay, so this was Imperial turn 4. And wow, man, it's tough. It's really going hard.
At the top.
Right, so down here, I had some guardsmen over there that ran down to here to join the veterans in the fight with the lone flamer. I moved the sentinels around here. I moved my platoon command. I've rallied my Kazakin. I have everything aimed in on those spawn that were hiding here in the bushes. I moved my infantry squad up here, and I moved another infantry squad up there because we know, and they know, that that is an objective over there. There's an objective over there, so we know that they had 2 on their side of the board.
And we suspect there's one there.
Maybe. I'm not confirming anything.
Jason's entire army is camped in circles around
It's
it.
all run towards it. I wonder why.
So I'm as subtle as a
surprised
brick
this
I
unit
am.
run back.
I'm using them as a meat shield to block off anything.
Ash and I haven't seen these 2, so no, haven't seen this one,
Yeah.
so it could be that one as well.
We haven't looked at that one yet.
I have, yeah. Terminators moved over there.
No.
I'm gonna have a look.
So,
'Cause you don't
in
have
the
any
shooting
units
phase,
there.
I put a lot of wounds on these
Yeah, you
spawn.
killed the spawn, didn't you?
And that was pretty much it for shooting, I think. Because...
It's
I
getting
didn't
down
have a
to
lot.
movement.
I
did you
moved down
fire
his
two
chest.
shots at them?
Yeah,
Yes,
killed
I
one.
killed a single dude.
And then in the combat phase, I had that little extra 4 dudes there charged in to help the veterans over there. The flamer killed 1. With all my attacks, I killed nothing, and the other guys ran off while the veterans go, "Come back here, you bastards!" The the Sentinels charged in and finished off the last of the spawn, and that was pretty much it. So at this,
Terminators.
oh yes, the Terminators.
Terminators pelted it through and charged and got 2 eaten, 2 of their number eaten, including the sergeant. In did you roll for that?
He doesn't get the
Okay.
bonus. He's not a marine.
Sergeant got beaten up by the boss. I killed 2 of those dogs that are there.
Yeah,
Then
but then
on the instability, double
Double one. Both dogs back.
I
hate you.
I honestly thought he was making that up. But,
So at the end of turn, this is the
Turn 4. We're
Chaos-
going to have to finish next turn.
Yeah.
So
we've got one over there. They've got one over there, and we don't know
Yeah.
where the other one
We
is.
get that. There's like one flavour there. I'm hoping he's going to win and kill.
All right, let's see what they can do.
Okay, it's Chaos turn 5. It actually went reasonably well for us here. So over here, these guys have gone to ground, but they're in cover, and we've rolled the Chaos table, and it's the evil mists of doom again, so giving extra cover save. So I'm quite secure. They got a 2-up save there. These guys in the middle, they butchered the Terminators. The Hounds did all the work. The Corn Lord just stood back and let them tear them apart. We're holding these 2 objectives if we needed to, but I suspect they're not objective markers. Down here, the Blitz tried to, because these are objectives secured, we tried to take them out with 3 assault cannon blasts. We killed 2 of them, but we did make them go to ground, so that's something at least. Over here, my biker, who was over here at the start of turn, heroically rode through terrain to there, bolt gunned Jason's commander in the face, dealing him a wound, and then made a 9-inch charge across there, and then hammered a Vraffin to death by using his bike wheel as a fist. So that was pretty sweet. The Flamer is still locked in combat there, nothing happened. And Ash, what happened over here?
What happened over here was what would have happened a couple of turns before if somebody hadn't convinced me to fight.
Look, we've killed a giant beastie.
Okay. Somebody hadn't convinced me to fight a giant beastie. We probably would have killed all of this as well. So the Chaos Lord moved forward, flamed, and then managed to roll 9 for his charge.
Oh, we did 2 really lucky charges this
Oh
turn.
yeah, fluky, and then butchered the rest of the unit. There's a missile launcher guy left
Yep.
trying to go.
So we're locked in combat, which is actually good for us because you'll likely kill him.
So I'm not going to get shot. And these guys moved and then managed to make a 6-inch run as well. So
Excellent. Yeah, that was what we needed. So a really lucky turn for us. I mean,
that's your game done.
yeah,
that is
these
it.
are objectives secured and these are, so they can just move in, and that means it's contested. Neither of us get to carry the relic into the next battle, so it will start
is
in
a
the middle of the
relic-
table. If it is a relic, I
Yeah.
think we all know.
I don't think it is.
So
I think
it's really this one over here. This is going to be the story of the turn, what happens over there. But I suspect a biker can't hold up to the combined fire of Jason's army. Let's see if it
hey,
does.
he's the only biker who's made it to the end of
It
the
is
game
true.
so
Every
far.
other biker has died.
Okay, so this is the end of our last turn and the end of the game. So we'll get to the formalities of what happened on that turn in a sec. But as you can see, the cultists are still in control of that objective there.
This one here, we flip them all, is an objective,
Yeah.
and their objective
So you're
secured
sure?
and the drop pod isn't, so
There's-
they get to hold it.
Objective number 2, which is a dud. There's another dud over there. A few more duds down there.
Yeah.
Dud over there. So you can see all these objectives down here were duds. That one's a dud. Of course, there's the objective held there. The final Marine on John's side was killed over there. So no one's in combat there, but
They're both objectives
Yeah.
secured, so nobody holds it.
so that one's contested. That one's held by the Chaos. There's another dud over there. And then dun dun
It wasn't
dun. We conned
There's
them.
nothing we could have done, like.
No, the Flamer had to do a valiant fight over here. He
I can't
killed the
believe he
guards and
killed
run
them
them down.
again.
Moved in. Ash and I are like, yes, it's so unlikely we've managed to take it.
the last laugh.
Contested. That would have won 1-0 if that was the right
Yeah.
one. But instead, we
It's that
held
one of the
them.
center which you've got happily
Yeah,
surrounded.
the only way could have gotten that one. No, there's
Biker
no way.
could have
Yeah.
maybe done something.
Go on.
Well done,
What
guys.
a great game.
Well,
Really
right,
enjoyed
man.
that game. That was excellent.
So one all the final score and objectives.
Yes.
You guys killed the monster.
Which
So we
was
each take a
scary.
relic forward to the next game. The next
And
game,
he's still alive.
Yeah.
This is game number 4.
we'll roll our stuffs in a minute.
Yeah.
We don't even try and kill him anymore.
He's unstoppable.
He's not up.
on my last turn, I fired all the autocannons at them, and this obviously John
You're
fired
trying to
still-
put a leadership
Yeah,
test on the weren't you? But
just only killed one though, which was really annoying.
the extra cover this term has really helped because that saved my bike a few turns as well.
Yeah. You were bitching when I rolled it, thinking,
Yeah, yeah.
no, we didn't movement. But no. Okay, admittedly, the movement would have meant I could have definitely got into combat with them as well and stuff.
But thoroughly enjoyed that. The objective things worked really well. I've
Yeah,
only
I
ever
thought
played
it was
that
really
type
good.
of game once, which was slightly different. but I really enjoyed them this game.
And as you can see, the cows have been doing a nice little
Yeah, the cows are moving.
Grazing
Yeah,
everywhere.
they're
Chaos cows.
They're like, what's going on here?
The monster was a bit of an issue for us because it really held up all
if
of your
that
hard
hadn't
stuff.
have hit your lines,
Yeah, if
I
it had
think
hit
it
your
would've been
lines, things would have
yeah,
been completely
a
different.
very
It's
Yeah,
an interesting
I-
game of chicken at the beginning.
I think
seeing
so
which
as
way
well.
it's gonna
I
go.
think so as well. If that had not, if those Chaos Marines had come across here, we would have never updated.
But then I think the extra movement thing really helped us more than it helped you.
Oh, yeah,
so
for
that
sure.
side of the random did it because it gave all of my stuff
Agreed.
so much movement.
Yeah, you were pinging through our lines.
Losing our bikes on
pretty
turn
badly.
one.
Yeah.
was just
But I mean, look
insane.
at how many are still remaining from those
must say
two
that-
units.
But Jason's Imperial Guardsmen,
They've
brilliant
done
this
really,
game.
yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Really
Unlike
good. They
the
put
other
loads of fire
games.
on stuff. No, but that many units, we had very little that could deal with
Yeah.
that much stuff. Only really your burning brand could have killed them, or I think I had one flamer somewhere.
They made the Emperor
Yeah,
proud.
my flamers like kept
Yeah.
summoning that were awesome this game.
These flamers, man, are such a pain in the arse.
Yeah, it's the 2 wounds.
I thought for sure 7 guardsmen could take one
Yeah.
flamer in combat. No, no, no.
So now we just need to arrange for the final game of the campaign. In the final game, we're going to have a big apocalypse game, hopefully an 8x6 table. In the centre, there will be a big summoning ring, which will have Angraf, who's a Forge World Demon Lord. And the objective of the game will be we're trying to summon him into reality, and you guys are trying to kill him, or the Imperium are trying to kill him. The relics will have additional effects, so the relics will become things obviously move around like a normal relic in the game, and while units hold them, their power over summoning or unsummoning Angraf is much heightened. It will be to do with units you kill and such.
Sounds
so
good.
we'll see how they work. We've all got a few bonuses to carry forward into the final game as well. We get a free knight,
Yep.
which is quite nice.
Shut
Oh,
up.
Yeah, every night we get the buff from.
We've got a buff there. We've got 2 Skyfire things to
You've got
take.
a
Yeah.
lot of stuff.
I've got a
Yeah.
tank hunting
And like
I'm going to make him into a
Yeah, and we're
commissar
going to roll
next.
to see what other things we got, but another really good game. Thoroughly
Yeah.
enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot,
It was
guys.
epic.
Yeah, that was really good.
Excellent.
Really
Once
tactical
again, my
game.
rhinos
Yeah,
didn't
can't
make
believe
it
you
out
bluffed
of
us.
the
That was fantastic play. I think we talked ourselves into it, and you probably were like, "Well, they seem to believe it. Let's just go with."
Well, I planted the seed as well when I said to John, we can hold all 2, you know, the one down there, we
Yeah.
can hold that and hold this one. And I went, oops.
Nice one.
Excellent.
Cool. Well, thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks everybody. See you next time.